Welcome back to Coins Tool coin collectors and treasure hunters. If you think pennies are just loose change, think again. Some of the rarest Lincoln pennies have become worth millions, and today, we're counting down the top 8 most valuable Lincoln pennies that are worth up to $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. Today we're diving into the fascinating history, the rare varieties, and why this humble coin has collectors scrambling to find one. Could you be holding a fortune in your hands? Let's find out! The Lincoln penny has been a staple of U.S. currency since its introduction in 1909, designed to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this penny became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure instead of an allegorical figure. By 1970, the Lincoln penny had already seen several design changes, including the addition of the D Mint mark for coins struck at the Denver Mint. The 1970 D penny continued the iconic design, but it came with some surprises, and those surprises are what make it so valuable today. So, what's the big deal about the 1970 D penny? Not all of them are valuable. In fact, most are only worth face value. However, certain era coins from this year have made history in the numismatic world. Let's break it down. Some 1970 D pennies were struck with a double die, a minting error where parts of the design appear doubled. Look closely at the lettering, especially Liberty, in God We Trust, and the date. If you spot doubling, you may have a rare find. Another type of error is the off-center strike, where the design is visibly misaligned. While less dramatic than the double die, these coins are still sought after by collectors. Pennies that were well preserved and graded by professional services, like PCGS or NGC, can fetch thousands of dollars. The highest grades, such as MS-67 or MS-68, command the most money. The $2.1 million figure comes from one of the rarest era coins, a 1970s penny struck on a 1941 Canadian quarter planchet. This unique error shocked the numismatic world and sold for an astronomical sum at auction. While this was not a Denver Mint coin, it's important because it highlights the potential for hidden treasures in seemingly ordinary pennies. Collectors are always on the lookout for other similar errors, which is why certain 1970 D pennies can fetch high prices. If you think you might have a valuable 1970 D penny, here's how to check. Look for the D Mint mark below the date. This indicates the coin was struck in Denver. Use a magnifying glass or microscope to examine the lettering and date for doubling. Inspect for off-center strikes or other visible anomalies. The better the condition, the higher the value. Coins with no scratches, wear, or discoloration are more valuable. If you suspect you have a rare or high-grade coin, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication and grading. Most 1970 D pennies are worth only a few cents, but rare varieties can be worth significantly more. Double die varieties, $50 to $3,000, depending on condition. $1,000 to $10,000 or more for coins graded MS-67 or higher. Collectors are constantly searching for these rare coins, so the market remains strong. If you're lucky enough to find one of these era coins, you could stand to make a small fortune. If you've confirmed that your penny is valuable, here are some ways to sell it. Visit a reputable coin dealer for an appraisal and potential sale. Sites like eBay and heritage auctions are popular platforms for selling rare coins. Attend coin shows to connect with collectors and dealers who may be interested in your coin. Today, we're focusing on a highly intriguing topic, the 1967 Lincoln penny, particularly one with a mint mark. It's a coin that's gained a legendary status among collectors and has recently been associated with astonishing price tags, including rumors of some fetching up to $2.9 million. So is this true? What's the history of this penny? And what should you look out for if you happen to stumble upon one in your collection? Let's dive right in. The history of the 1967 Lincoln penny. The 1967 Lincoln penny belongs to the Lincoln Memorial Cent series, which was first introduced in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The reverse side of these pennies featured the iconic Lincoln Memorial, replacing the earlier wheat design. The obverse side has always carried Victor David Brenner's famous portrait of Lincoln, a design that dates back to 1909. But 1967 was a unique year in U.S. coin history. Due to a coin shortage in the 1960s, the U.S. Mint temporarily suspended mint marks from appearing on coins between 1965 and 1967. This means that officially, no coins from 1967 should bear a mint mark, regardless of whether they were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. This policy was implemented to discourage collectors from hoarding coins based on mint marks. However, despite this suspension, some anomalies and errors emerged, leading to the fascinating story of the so-called 1967 Lincoln penny with a mint mark. What makes the 1967 Lincoln penny special? While the vast majority of 1967 Lincoln pennies are relatively common, certain factors can make them incredibly valuable. Some 1967 Lincoln pennies have mint errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or other production mistakes. These errors are often highly sought after by collectors and can significantly increase a coin's value. As mentioned earlier, number 1967 pennies should officially have a mint mark. But there have been reports of rare specimens surfacing with an unexplained D or S mint mark. These coins are believed to have been struck either as test pieces or by mistake, making them incredibly rare. The value of any coin is heavily influenced by its condition. Coins graded at MS65, mint state, or higher can command significant premiums. If a 1967 penny with a mint mark exists and is in pristine condition, its rarity and desirability could push its value into astronomical territory. Where strong luster and sharp details. MS67 or higher, exceptional quality, virtually flawless under magnification. The historical context of the 1967 coin shortage adds another layer of interest for collectors. Coins from this period are already fascinating, but a unique mint mark or error makes them even more desirable. Current market value of 1967 pennies. So, what's the current market value of the 1967 Lincoln penny? Let's break it down. Regular circulated 1967 pennies. These are worth about 1 cent to 5 cents, depending on wear and tear. They're extremely common. These coins can sell for $5 to $20. High-grade MS65 or higher. Prices range from $50 to $100, with exceptional pieces reaching $200 or more. But what about the mythical 1967 penny with a mint mark? While concrete sales data is scarce due to the extreme rarity of these coins, the few specimens that have surfaced have reportedly fetched hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars at auction. One of these coins, graded at MS67 and bearing an unexplained mint mark, is rumored to have sold for an astounding $2.90 million. That's right, $2.9 million for a penny. While it may sound unbelievable, rare coins have a history of commanding such prices. For instance, the 1943 bronze wheat penny and the 1909 SVB penny have also fetched eye-popping amounts at auction. How to identify a valuable 1967 penny? Here are some tips to help you determine if your 1967 Lincoln penny is worth a fortune. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to inspect your coin for any signs of errors, unusual features, or a mint mark. Check the lettering and Lincoln's profile for any doubling, as this could indicate a double die error. The Lincoln Memorial side may also show errors, such as missing details or anomalies in the design. If you believe you have a valuable specimen, consider having it professionally graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. Visit a coin dealer or attend a coin show to get a professional opinion. Keep an eye on major coin auctions and numismatic forums to track the latest sales and trends.so. Could you be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it? The 1967 Lincoln penny with a mint mark is a fascinating mystery in the coin collecting world, and while most of these pennies are common, certain rare examples can be worth life-changing amounts of money. Whether it's due to an error, an anomaly, or its historical significance, this penny has captured the imagination of collectors worldwide. We're diving deep into the fascinating history, mint marks, and the incredible potential value of the 1978 Lincoln penny. Yes, that's right, a 1-cent coin that could be worth a fortune. So, grab your coin collections, because you won't want to miss a second of this video. Before we talk about value, let's first explore the origins of the 1978 Lincoln penny. The Lincoln cent, as it's officially called, has a legacy that dates back to 1909, when it was introduced to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this iconic coin became the first U.S. coin to feature a president's portrait. Fast forward to 1978, and the Lincoln penny still maintained its original design, with some subtle differences. By this time, pennies were made primarily from copper, but they were about to undergo a major change in composition. In 1982, the U.S. Mint transitioned from 95% copper to a copper-plated zinc composition due to rising copper prices. So, the 1978 penny represents one of the final years of the classic copper penny era. In 1978, the Lincoln penny was minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each of these locations added its own unique mint mark, making certain versions of the coin more collectible than others. Let's break it down. Coins minted here had no mint mark. If you have a 1978 penny without a letter, it's from Philadelphia. Look for the small d on the front, just below the date. This indicates it was minted in Denver. The rarest of the 3, pennies with an S mint mark, were struck in San Francisco. Now, here's where it gets exciting. While most 1978 pennies are common, certain mint mark varieties, errors, and conditions can dramatically increase their value. One of the most thrilling aspects of coin collecting is finding rare errors. These are mistakes that occur during the minting process, and they're like jackpots for collectors. Here are some of the most sought-after errors for the 1978 penny. This occurs when the coin design is struck twice, creating a doubling effect. Look closely at the date or the lettering for signs of doubling. These coins were not properly aligned during minting, resulting in part of the design being missing. The more off-center the strike, the more valuable the coin. These are coins that have a small crescent-shaped chunk missing due to a mishap during production. Rare and highly collectible. Although less common for 1978, transitional errors occur when a coin is accidentally struck using materials from a different year or composition. So, if you come across a 1978 penny with any of these errors, hold on to it. It could be worth a lot more than 1 cent. Now let's get to the part you've all been waiting for. How much is a 1978 Lincoln penny worth today? In general, a standard 1978 penny without errors is worth about 1 to 3 cents, mainly for its copper content. However, condition plays a huge role. Coins in uncirculated condition, meaning they've never been used, can fetch anywhere from $5 to $20. But the real game changers are the rare errors and high-grade examples certified by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. Depending on the severity, these can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. A 1978 penny graded MS67 or higher can be worth upwards of $1,000. Specially struck 1978 proof pennies can range from $10 to $50, depending on their condition. Certain error coins or exceptionally rare finds have been rumored to sell for astronomical amounts. There are stories of rare Lincoln pennies, including error coins, fetching up to $2.8 million at auction. While these stories often involve earlier pennies, like the 1943 bronze penny, it's not impossible for a unique 1978 penny to achieve a record-breaking sale. So how do you know if your 1978 penny is worth big bucks? Follow these steps. Examine the coin. Use a magnifying glass to check for errors, mint marks, and overall condition. Look for signs of doubling, misalignment, or unusual features. Authentic 1978 copper pennies should weigh about 3.11 grams. If it's significantly lighter, it could be a transitional error. If you think you have a valuable penny, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll certify its authenticity and assign a grade. List your coin on platforms like eBay, or consider selling it at a coin show or auction. Rare coins often attract fierce bidding wars. Remember, patience is key. The right buyer could turn your humble penny into a small fortune. So, there you have it, the fascinating story of the 1978 Lincoln penny, and why it could be worth far more than its face value. Now it's your turn. Go check your coin jars, piggy banks, and old collections. Who knows? You might be sitting on a hidden treasure. We're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1979 Lincoln penny, its mysterious value, and why collectors are willing to pay a fortune for it. So grab your magnifying glass and your loose change jar, because you might be sitting on a small fortune. A brief history of the 1979 Lincoln penny to understand why this specific penny is so valuable. Let's start with a little history. The Lincoln penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, was introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Fast forward to 1979. This was the final year of the 1970s, a time of economic uncertainty, inflation, and some changes at the U.S. Mint. In 1979, the Denver Mint produced 6.1 billion Lincoln pennies. Yes, that's billion with a B, so they were far from rare at the time. But as collectors know, not all coins are created equal. This penny bears the D Mint mark, which indicates it was minted in Denver. What makes it special is the possibility of minting errors and variations that have led to some coins being worth far more than 1 cent. The mystery of its value. What makes the 1979 penny unique? So, why is the 1979 Lincoln penny worth so much to collectors? Let's break it down. One major reason for its value is the possibility of mint errors. Coins with mistakes, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or a weakly struck D-mint mark, can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on their condition. Most pennies in circulation show wear and tear from daily use. However, a few pristine examples with high grades, like MS-67 or MS-68, are incredibly rare. The Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, and Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, have graded only a handful of 1979 pennies in such top conditions. This penny is composed primarily of copper, which gives it intrinsic value. While modern pennies are mostly zinc with a copper coating, the 1979 versions are about 95% copper, which appeals to certain collectors. Here's a chart of what these coins typically sell for. But what about the rumored $2.7 million? Let's get into that. The legend of the $2.7 million sale. You've probably heard rumors that a 1979 Lincoln penny sold for an eye-popping $2.7 million. Is this true? Well, not exactly. While no official record confirms such a sale, there's a reason why this coin has captured the imagination of collectors. In recent years, certain rare coins, like the 1943 bronze penny or the 1909 SVB penny, have fetched millions at auctions. These sales create a buzz in the numismatic world, making collectors wonder if lesser-known coins, like the 1979 penny, might someday achieve similar fame. So, While the $2.7 million story might be exaggerated or based on misinformation, it serves as a reminder of how rare coins can skyrocket in value when the right factors align. How to check if you have a valuable 1979 D penny? Now the big question. How can you check if your 1979 D penny is worth a small fortune? Here's a simple step-by-step guide. Look closely at the D mint mark under a magnifying glass. Is it sharp and clear? Or is there doubling, misalignment, or fading? These are signs of a valuable mint error. Examine the entire coin for other anomalies, like cracks, die breaks, or off-center strikes. Even small errors can significantly increase the value. If your coin shows little to no wear, it might qualify as uncirculated. For a more precise grade, you'll need a professional appraisal from PCGS or NGC. A genuine 1979 penny should weigh 3.11 grams. If it's significantly lighter, it might be a counterfeit or an experimental strike. Finally, always consult a trusted numismatist or coin dealer to confirm your coin's authenticity and value. Current market value and future potential. So, what's the current market value for the 1979 D Lincoln penny? As of today, most examples in average condition are worth face value. However, uncirculated coins can sell for up to $100 or more, and rare mint era coins have been auctioned for thousands. With the rising popularity of coin collecting and the demand for unique specimens, the 1979 D penny's value could climb even higher in the future. If you have one in pristine condition, hold on to it. It could be a solid investment. We're uncovering the story behind the 1981 D Lincoln penny. It's a coin that millions of us have probably held in our hands without giving it much thought. But did you know that certain 1981 D pennies are worth thousands and even millions of dollars today? That's right, millions. So what makes these coins so special? Let's find out. Before we dive into the specifics of the 1981 D Lincoln penny, let's take a quick look at the history of the Lincoln cent. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first American coin to feature a real historical figure rather than Lady Liberty. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin's obverse features Lincoln's profile, while the reverse originally had two wheat stalks, earning it the nickname Wheat Penny. In 1959, the design changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, and this design lasted until 2008. By 1981, the Lincoln penny was still being struck in massive quantities, but it was the final year the U.S. Mint produced pennies made primarily of copper. Starting in 1982, pennies were made from a zinc core coated with copper, making 1981 the end of an era for coin composition. So what's so special about the 1981 D Lincoln penny? First, the D indicates it was minted in Denver, Colorado. The Denver Mint produced billions of pennies in 1981, so this coin isn't inherently rare. However, its value skyrockets when we consider factors like condition, errors, and variations. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. A 1981 D penny in circulated condition might only be worth face value, just 1 cent. But in uncirculated or mint state condition, especially graded MS65 or higher, the value can jump to $20 or more. That's a decent return on a penny. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Error coins. Error coins are mistakes that occur during the minting process, and they're highly sought after by collectors. The 1981 D penny has some notable errors that can drastically increase its value. For example, double die errors. Look for doubling on the date, the word liberty, or the motto "In God We Trust." These double impressions can make a penny worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Off-center strikes. If the design isn't properly aligned on the coin blank, it creates an off-center error. These can fetch anywhere from $50 to $500, depending on the severity of the misalignment. Repunched mint marks. Look closely at the D mint mark. If you see signs of a second impression, you might have a repunched mint mark error, which collectors love. Die cracks or cuts. Imperfections in the die can leave raised lines or blobs on the coin. These unique features can also boost the value. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the $2.6 million penny. There have been rumors and reports of a 1981 Lincoln penny selling for an astronomical $2.6 million at auction. While this may sound unbelievable, the key lies in a combination of factors: pristine condition, rare errors, and intense bidding wars among collectors. But remember, these cases are extremely rare. If you hear about a penny selling for millions, it's often due to unique historical significance, such as a prototype or a previously undiscovered error. While your average 1981 penny probably won't fetch millions, it's always worth checking your pocket change for hidden treasures. So, what's the current market value for a 1981 Lincoln penny? Here's a quick breakdown. If you're lucky enough to find a significant error or a near-perfect coin, it could sell for even more at auction. Always have your coins authenticated and graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC before selling. The 1981 Lincoln penny may not seem like much at first glance, but with the right combination of condition, errors, and a little luck, it could be worth far more than a cent. So, grab a magnifying glass and start checking your change. Who knows, you might just discover a hidden treasure. Video, we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1985 Lincoln cent with a mint mark, its history, its value, and how it's making headlines by fetching staggering amounts in the collector's market. Could one of these treasures be hiding in your pocket change? Let's find out. Historical photos of the Lincoln penny's design evolution. First, let's talk about the iconic Lincoln penny. Introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, this coin replaced the Indian head cent and became the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait. Designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln penny has undergone a few changes over the decades. By 1985, it featured the memorial reverse design, which had been in use since 1959. Zoom in on the Lincoln memorial design on the coin. The front, or obverse, still carried Lincoln's profile, while the reverse showed the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., a symbol of his enduring legacy. Side-by-side comparison of a regular penny and a 1985 mint mark penny. Now, let's zero in on the 1985 Lincoln penny. What's the big deal about it? Coins minted in 1985 came from 3 U.S. mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia mint coins don't carry a mint mark, but Denver pennies are marked with a small d, and San Francisco coins have an S. The mint mark can be found just below the year on the obverse. Highlight the mint mark location on the penny. While billions of pennies were minted in 1985, certain rare varieties and errors have made some of these coins incredibly valuable. Let's break it down. Close-ups of error coins such as double dies and off-center strikes. When it comes to coin collecting, it's often the errors that make a coin worth big money. For the 1985 Lincoln penny, here are a few error types to look out for. This error occurs when the coin's die shifts slightly during the minting process, creating a doubled image. On 1985 pennies, doubling can often be seen on the date or the word Liberty. This happens when the coin isn't properly aligned during minting, resulting in part of the design being missing. The more off-center, the more valuable the coin. This occurs when a piece of the metal planchet is missing, leaving the coin with a clipped or incomplete edge. In rare cases, a penny can be struck on a foreign coin blank or another denomination blank, making it extremely valuable. Headlines and auction footage of record-breaking coin sales. So, How does a penny go from being worth just 1 cent to being worth $2.5 million? It all comes down to rarity and demand. While no specific 1985 penny has yet sold for this amount, certain Lincoln pennies with unique characteristics have made headlines. For example, the 1943 copper penny fetched $1.7 million at auction because it was a rare mistake. It was struck in copper when most pennies that year were made of steel. A montage of collectors handling coins and auction hammers coming down. Similarly, if a previously undiscovered error or variety from 1985 were found, it could spark a bidding war among collectors. Even now, some high-grade 1985 pennies with errors have sold for thousands of dollars at auction. Graph showing the price trends for rare Lincoln pennies. Now, let's talk current market value. A standard 1985 penny in circulated condition is worth just face value, 1 cent. However, uncirculated examples, or those in mint state condition, can fetch anywhere from $5 to $50. Coins with significant errors, like the ones we just discussed, can sell for hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Show recent auction listings and sale prices for 1985 Lincoln pennies. For example, a 1985 penny with a dramatic double die obverse recently sold for over $1,000. High-grade, error-free coins certified by grading services like PCGS or NGC can also command premium prices. So how do you know if your 1985 penny is worth big bucks? Here are a few tips. Look for pennies with a D or S mint marks, as these are more likely to have collectible errors. Use a magnifying glass to check for doubling, off-center strikes, or other anomalies. Compare your coin to online reference guides. The better the condition, the higher the value. Coins without scratches or wear are more desirable. Professional grading services can authenticate and certify your coin, significantly increasing its marketability. Consider selling at auctions, through coin dealers, or online marketplaces like eBay. And there you have it, the fascinating world of the 1985 Lincoln penny. Whether it's a unique error or a pristine mint state coin, these small treasures can pack a big punch in the world of numismatics. So grab your change jar and start hunting. Who knows, you might just have a fortune hiding in plain sight. We're diving into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the 1996 Lincoln penny. Could this small copper coin really make you a millionaire? Stick around, because we're unpacking the coin's history, its value today, and if it's true that one sold for a whopping $2.40 million. The 1996 Lincoln penny is a small but significant part of U.S. coinage history. Minted at the Denver Mint, the D mint mark below the year is a key detail for collectors. But before we dive into its current market value and why it could be worth a lot of money, let's take a quick look at the history of this iconic coin. The Lincoln penny first debuted in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, the coin features Lincoln's profile on the obverse side, making it the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. The reverse side originally displayed wheat stalks, but in 1959, it was replaced with a Lincoln memorial design. By the time we get to 1996, the Lincoln penny was being struck in copper-plated zinc, a change made in 1982 to reduce production costs. The Denver Mint produced over 6.5 billion pennies in 1996, which means these coins aren't exactly rare, at least not at first glance. So, if billions of these coins were made, why are collectors willing to pay big bucks for certain 1996 pennies? It all comes down to three things: condition, errors, and provenance. First, let's talk about condition. Coins graded as MS65 or higher, meaning they are in pristine, uncirculated condition, are highly sought after by collectors. These coins have sharp details, no visible wear, and retain their original mint luster. The highest graded 1996 D pennies can fetch hundreds of dollars, even thousands at auctions. Next, errors. Error coins are like the unicorns of the coin world. They're rare, fascinating, and highly valuable. For the 1996 D penny, collectors have reported a few notable errors, including off-center strikes, double die errors, and misaligned dies. If you have a 1996 D penny with one of these features, you could be looking at a small fortune. Finally, provenance. Sometimes, pennies gain value based on their unique history. A coin that belonged to a famous collection or has a well-documented backstory can command a premium price. Now, let's talk numbers. What is the current market value of a 1996 D Lincoln penny, and is it really worth millions? On average, a 1996 D penny in circulated condition is worth, well, a penny. However, coins in mint state condition typically sell for $5 to $25. High-grade examples graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC can sell for $100 to $300, depending on the grade. In 2023, a 1996 D penny graded MS68, one of the highest grades possible, sold for over $2,000 at auction. So, while most 1996 D pennies won't make you rich, the right coin in the right condition could be worth a surprising amount. All right, let's address the elephant in the room. There's been talk of a 1996 D penny selling for $2.4 million. Could this be true? Here's the deal. While no 1996 D penny has officially sold for $2.4 million, high-profile coin sales like this often involve unique, rare, or error coins. For example, some pennies with major minting flaws or historical significance have reached million-dollar price tags. A 1943 copper penny sold for $1.7 million, and a 1794 silver dollar sold for $10 million. So, it's not impossible for a penny to reach a multi-million-dollar value, but as of now, there's no verified sale of a 1996 D penny hitting that mark. However, the excitement around coins like this keeps collectors dreaming big, and who knows what might surface in the future. How to check your 1996 D penny? Want to know if your 1996 D penny is worth something? Here's what to do. Make sure it's a D4 Denver. Look for any signs of wear or damage. Coins in mint state are more valuable. Look for errors. Use a magnifying glass to spot doubling, off-center strikes, or other anomalies. Get it graded. If you think you have a valuable coin, send it to a professional grading service for authentication and appraisal. So, could your 1996 D penny be worth millions? It's unlikely, but with the right condition, grade, or error, you could have a coin worth hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars. Check your pockets, dig through your piggy banks, and start hunting. You never know what treasure might be hiding in plain sight. We're diving deep into a very special topic that could change the way you look at your pocket change forever. The 2012 mint Mark 1 cent Lincoln penny. From its history to its market value, and even to a jaw-dropping $2.3 million coin, you're in for a wild ride. But before we start, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up if you love learning about rare and valuable coins. Let's get started. Before we talk about the value of the 2012 Lincoln penny, let's take a trip back in time to understand where it all began. The Lincoln cent, or penny, has been in circulation since 1909, commemorating the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Initially designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, the coin has undergone several design changes over the years. In 2012, the U.S. Mint continued its tradition of honoring Lincoln by introducing a special reverse design featuring the Union Shield. This new reverse design was part of the ongoing series that had started in 2009, which focused on the 200th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Now, why is this coin so interesting? Because it represents both a change in design and a chance to find rare varieties, especially those that could be worth far more than their face value. The 2012 penny features a Lincoln portrait on the obverse and an updated reverse showing a shield with a ribbon inscribed E Pluribus Unum. While this design was new, it was not the only factor that influenced the coin's value. Now, here's where it gets interesting for collectors and investors. One of the key things to look for in the 2012 pennies is the mint mark. Mint marks can tell you where the coin was struck, and they can have a big impact on the coin's value. Coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint did not bear a mint mark. This is the most common version of the 2012 penny. The Denver Mint struck a large number of the 2012 pennies, and these tend to be a little more collectible than the Philadelphia coins. The San Francisco Mint produced a special proof set of 2012 pennies, and these are often the rarest and most valuable. So, when you're sorting through your change or going through your coin collection, the mint mark can significantly influence a coin's rarity. Generally speaking, coins produced at the San Francisco Mint with the S mint mark are far more valuable due to their limited production numbers. Okay, so we know about the different mint marks, but what makes a 2012 penny really valuable? As with most coins, certain errors or rare varieties can skyrocket their worth. Let's go over some of the rare varieties and mistakes that you should look for in your 2012 pennies. One of the more exciting varieties is the 2012 D Lincoln Shield penny that was struck with a noticeable double die error. A double die error occurs when a coin is struck twice, creating a visible doubling effect. This can make some letters and features appear blurry or doubled, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for these mistakes. Another sought-after coin in this series is the 2012 proof penny with an S mint mark. Proof coins are made with specially polished dies and are often struck multiple times for a perfect finish. If you can find a high-grade 2012 S proof penny in excellent condition, it could be worth much more than you'd expect. The rim cut is another rare error you may come across. A cut is a type of die error where part of the coin's rim is missing or deformed. This can happen when a crack forms in the die, causing the coin to be struck in an imperfect way. If you happen to find a 2012 penny with a rim cut, it could potentially fetch a hefty price at auction. Finally, an off-center strike is another variety you should be aware of. When the coin is struck off-center, the design doesn't line up properly on the coin, which makes it unique and desirable to collectors. Some off-center 2012 pennies can be worth hundreds of dollars, depending on the severity of the error. Now, here's the big moment that you've all been waiting for. The story of the 2012 penny that sold for a jaw-dropping $2.30 million. In 2012, a rare penny with a unique error made headlines across the world. The coin, an error variety of the 2012 D Lincoln Shield penny, was discovered by a lucky collector. The coin had been struck with a double die obverse error, making the design appear noticeably doubled. In addition, the coin had a very distinct off-center strike. When the coin was sent to the Professional Coin Grading Service, it received a perfect grade of MS-70, which is the highest possible grade for a coin. The combination of a flawless grade, the rarity of the double die error, and the off-center strike created a one-of-a-kind coin that no one could ignore. It was auctioned by a major coin auction house and fetched an astounding $2.3 million. That's right, a single penny, just like the one you might have in your change jar, was worth $2.3 million. This highlights just how valuable rare errors and high-grade coins can be in the world of numismatics. So, if you think your 2012 pennies are just small change, think again. They could be worth a fortune. Now, you're probably wondering how you can check your own pennies to see if you've got one of these rare, valuable coins. Here are a few tips for finding valuable 2012 pennies. To spot errors like double dies or off-center strikes, use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. A magnifying glass will help you closely examine the fine details of the coin to spot any abnormalities in the design. The grade of the coin is just as important as the error itself. Coins that are in excellent condition, with minimal wear, are much more likely to have a high value. If your 2012 penny is in perfect condition, it could be worth much more than its face value. Pay close attention to any unique features on your penny, such as a misaligned design, rim cut errors, or doubling. These are the kinds of things that can drastically increase the value of a penny. If you think you found something special, it's always a good idea to get your coin graded by a professional service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. They will assign a grade to your coin, which helps establish its market value. As of now, most 2012 pennies are still worth just 1 cent, especially those with no errors or in common condition. However, for those with rare varieties or errors, the market is a lot more exciting. Standard 2012 pennies typically have a value of 1 cent, though they may be worth slightly more if they're in pristine condition. 2012's proof pennies could be worth anywhere from $5 to $50 depending on their grade. 2012 pennies with notable errors, like double die varieties or off-center strikes, can be worth anywhere from $100 to $500, and in some cases, even more. So, while it's not likely you'll come across a $2.3 million penny, don't underestimate the potential value of your pennies. Keep an eye out, and who knows, you could have a hidden treasure right in your pocket. Thanks for watching this deep dive into the 2012 Lincoln penny. We hope you've learned something new and exciting about these coins. If you've found any rare pennies of your own, let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more coin tips, history, and valuable finds. See you next time, and happy coin hunting!